All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. We are at the New Jersey ACAC, or the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Sibel Rasim. I will be your facilitator for tonight. Again, thank you for attending, and thank you to our panelists for being here. We have some amazing institutions to show off tonight at our STEM Virtual College Fair. But in order to get started, I just have a few housekeeping items for everybody just to keep in mind. You may want to ask questions, and I absolutely love that, and you should be asking questions. But just remember that your chat on your end as an attendee is disabled, so you won't be able to actually chat back and forth with the presenters tonight. The way you will actually ask questions is through the Q&A. If you go down to the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see a Q&A button. That Q&A button is where you will click on it and then type your questions to the presenter at any time. Remember, you can ask questions at any point in time in the presentation. Do not wait to the last minute at the very end of the presentation because we do not have a live Q&A section for those questions. With that said, also, if you are asking a question, please make sure to put the university or college's name within your question so we know that the question goes to what university. With that said, this is a webinar format, so your camera and microphone are turned off. So you are muted, your video is turned off. The panelists cannot see or hear you, okay? Also, sign up for more sessions. We may not have any more time slots available for tonight, specifically for college presentations, but the New Jersey ACAC has a ton more presentations and college fairs. So please make sure to sign up for those for any point in time, whatever session works best for you. Last but not least, this recording will be available. It is being recorded, and the recording will be available on the same page you registered, and it should be available within about a week of this presentation or college fair itself. So without further ado, I would like to invite Drew University up first. Thank you all so much.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody. Bear with me for a second while I share my screen real quick. Here we go. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Zach Maurer. I'm one of the admissions counselors at Drew University, and I am also a proud alum of Drew. I was a 2013 grad business major when I was there, student athlete as well, and I also met my wife at Drew. So we have a lot of Drew-related things at our house. I'm just happy that I'm able to share a little bit more about Drew with everyone here today. So before I dive into STEM specific related things with Drew, I want to give a brief overview about who we are and where we're located. So Drew University, we are right in Madison, New Jersey, which is the northern part of New Jersey. That places us about 50 miles right outside of New York City. The town itself is about a 10-minute walk from the university. So we are incredibly close to the town of Madison, a very quaint little town, a great place for our students to go and just hang out and get off campus for a little bit. We are in a very great location. As I mentioned, we are about 50 miles outside of New York City, and the best way for our students to get there is we do have a train station right in the middle of our town, which gives us access to New York, Philadelphia, the surrounding towns around Madison, and really allows the students to explore the surrounding areas. We are also very close to Morristown, which is right next to us. And for our science students, we have a very good connection with Morristown Memorial Hospital, which many of our science students who are interested in the field of medicine do partake in internship opportunities at Morristown Memorial. Drew University is a small liberal arts institution. So when I say small, I mean we hover right around 1,700 undergraduate students, and that means our average class size here is roughly 12 to 1. So we have a very small class size ratio here, and it really allows you to get to know your professors on a very deep level here. Some of our most popular majors, and specifically we are very well known for the sciences here at Drew. So your chemistries, biology, neurosciences of the world. We do have very unique opportunities for these majors, and I'll go over those in a little bit here. Also, with our new minors in data science and our new Master of Science in data analytics, we have many opportunities for students interested in the STEM fields to really dive in to a lot of unique opportunities here. What we believe in here in Drew, and specifically within the STEM field, is our immersive experiences. And we firmly believe that getting the students outside of the classroom into these real world situations is going to be absolutely crucial for your success after your time here at Drew. One of a couple of the more unique immersive experiences that we have here are our science research opportunities here. So our first one is our RISE program. So we have retired industry scientists who have been in their respective field for decades, and now they're retired and they're here at Drew. All the research is housed here. And you, as a first-year undergraduate student, could go in the labs with them during your first semester here and get some in-depth research with someone who has been in the field for 30 years. We also have our Drew Summer Science Institute, or DSSI for short. During a normal summer, we typically have about 50 Drew students here living on campus throughout the summer. We're paying you to be here on campus and work with our faculty and either continue research that you have started during the year with those faculty members, or you are joining a new research group here. So we're really diving in to ensuring that you get those experiences. I also mentioned that we are very accessible via the train line here. So we have multiple opportunities for students in the STEM field to expand their horizons, either into the city or the surrounding towns, and secure internship opportunities. We also have Morristown Memorial so for those of you who are interested in pursuing the medical field, many of our students take that opportunity to study under doctors there while they are an undergrad at Drew. So it's a phenomenal opportunity. We also offer several unique combined degree programs here at Drew. This allows our students to pursue the liberal arts education while you're here. And then after you are finished with your degree at Drew, you focus a little bit more on your specific field of interest. So we have combined degree programs for engineering with Columbia and Washington University, with medicine, which is our accelerated program with New Jersey Medical School, nursing and dietetics and nutrition. Both of those are a 4+1 with Drexel. And we also have a program for software engineering, and that is with Stevens Institute of Technology. And these really allow our students to get that full-fledged liberal arts education. You get your BA from Drew, and then the last remaining year or two, you receive your Bachelor of Science at your respective university. Over the past couple years, Drew has been ranked over the top 10 most inclusive college campuses. We're one of the colleges that does create futures here, and we offer one of the best values, and we're really, really proud of that. So thank you everybody for learning a little bit more about Drew. My email is right here. We're also on Instagram at Drew Admissions. I'm also going to put my email in the chat when we're done. So thank you all for learning a little bit more about Drew.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zach. If you have any questions for Zach for Drew University, please put it down in the Q&A down at the bottom. Make sure that you address that it is for Drew University. With that said, next up, we have Binghamton University.
All right, I believe I'm sharing my full screen now. Perfect. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is David Babb. I'm the Assistant Director of Admission for New Jersey Recruitment with Binghamton University, State University of New York. I'm based right here in the state. I live in Essex County, so I'm not very far from most of you. And I'm sure most of you already know a little bit about Binghamton, but I will do a quick overview of Binghamton and then talk a bit more about the STEM majors that we offer and some other opportunities that we have. So right here on screen is actually a pretty good shot of what the campus looks like. Obviously not right now. It's very snowy and very cold upstate New York. So we are located roughly around 3 hours north of New York City. So we sit right on the southern tier of New York State, about 10 miles north of the New York and Pennsylvania border. And we're within a 5-hour radius of all the other major cities in the Northeast. So as I mentioned when I started this, Binghamton is a part of the State University of New York system. In New York State, that is the main public system. We have 2 public school systems in New York. Binghamton is the #1 public university. We are receiving the most applications, we're the most rigorous, and we are a Tier 1 research institution. So that's why we were very excited to be a part of this tonight, to talk to you about some of the research opportunities and the opportunities that you can have being a part of STEM. Being a part of STEM at Binghamton. But we also included this map here. So if you are looking at any of the other 60 or so SUNY schools across New York State, this is just giving you an idea of where they're all located. At Binghamton University, we have roughly 14,300 students, a total of around 18,000 with our graduate students. We boast over about 130 programs. Our most popular majors are business admin, nursing, computer science, bio, psych. We have many different engineering options at Binghamton, in addition to biochem and accounting. We have over 450 student-run clubs and organizations. We're NCAA Division I in all athletics. And just some more general information for you about application deadlines. And at this point, we don't know if we're going to be test optional for next year. So that's all things for you to start considering right now. And after the end of this, we would definitely encourage you to come to one of our longer info sessions so we can talk to you a bit more about some of those things. Now, some of the things that tie in specifically towards STEM at Binghamton, 2 of them happen right in your first year that you can participate in. And that one of those programs is called the First Year Research Immersion, which basically gives you an opportunity to start doing research within the STEM fields the moment you step foot on campus. That's a program that students, when they apply to Binghamton, you're automatically selected for it if you are indicating that you're interested in a science major on our campus. It's a program funded by the National Science Foundation. And at the end of your second year at Binghamton, you'll actually end up being a published researcher. So that's a huge deal if you're considering going on for a master's, a doctorate, med school, or whatever it may be, because these are all things that are going to help bolster your application as you go forward. In addition to that, we also have the Undergraduate Research Center on our campus. So our focus at Binghamton truly is that undergraduate experience. So even though we are a mid-sized institution, we do have a large and a heavy focus on undergraduate research. And through the Undergraduate Research Center, if you're not selected for FRI or one of the other research programs, you will still have the opportunity to start doing research through that center, in addition to research being intertwined in all of the academic majors on our campus. The next research program is another program called the Source Project, and that program is specifically for students that want to intertwine STEM and the social sciences and the humanities. So if you're thinking about doing independent research or anything like that, we have those opportunities for you to mix those 2 things together. And then the last thing that I want to mention here is that Binghamton is a university. We do have our own pharmacy school, our own nursing school right on campus, and we do have very strong engineering track programs at Binghamton. So you could actually stay all the way through your PhD or your Doctor of Nursing Practice or whatever it might be if you wanted to stay right on our campus. But if you are thinking about going off to medical school or you want to go off to be a PA or something like that, we do have some significant early assurance programs for dental, veterinary, medicine, and physician assistant. So if you are thinking about any of those, we do have some partnerships across the state of New York and also in Pennsylvania and Ohio if you're thinking about doing any early assurance type programs. And with that said, I really didn't want to take too much of your time, but I just wanted to make sure that you at least have my contact information. It's taken a while to load. At least have my contact information. It's right here on screen for you. So please copy it down. I will also put it in the chat. And as I mentioned, at Binghamton, we are doing a ton of activities this week during President's Week. So please check out our website to see if you can join for any of them. We do have some specific activities going on this week for STEM majors. So please check it out. And with that, I will turn it back over. And thank you very much for joining tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. At Binghamton University, if you have any questions for David at Binghamton, please put it down in the Q&A down at the bottom and make sure that you address Binghamton University in the question. Next up, we have Neumann University.
All right, thank you everyone. My name is Andrew and I'm an admissions counselor at Neumann University. We are a small private Catholic college in Essen, Pennsylvania, or Delaware County suburban. A couple accolades that we have gotten recently would be we are ranked among the best regional universities in the North by US World in Report, and also we are ranked number 8 in regional universities in Pennsylvania for social mobility, which means that we really are successful at graduating economically disadvantaged students. A couple other distinctions that we were given these College of Distinction badges for being a Catholic university, for being a College of Distinction in Pennsylvania, the College of Distinction in 2020, 2021, for our business program, education, nursing, and in career development as well. So a couple things about Neumann. We have 2,400 undergrads. We are on the smaller side, 48 academic programs, 22 is your average class size here, 14:1 student to faculty ratio, 4 residence halls, 24 Division III sports. 100% of our students have to do an internship, field experience, clinical, and 99% of the students receive some form of merit aid. The biggest takeaway is that you really are going to get that unique and personal experience here at Neumann. I actually went to Neumann for my undergrad as well, graduated in 2019, and I really had that unique and personal experience as a student, and I'm getting that now as an employee as well. Feature some of our academic programs. Some of our really popular ones are going to be biology, biology clinical laboratory, science communications, criminal justice, business, a couple STEM majors. We have pre-engineering with Drexel University. We have pre-pharmacy with either Duquesne or Wilkes as well. We have nursing, which is a really big one here. Data science and analytics and cybersecurity, which is actually kind of new to the university. And we even built our own lab for these majors as well. So definitely is nice to be able to teach hacking and teach it safely and have our own server room. Sports management is a big one as well. We definitely are a liberal arts college, but there's a lot to choose from. So for academic resources here at Neumann, there is a lot, and we recently renovated and received a grant to completely redo all of our academic resources here, and they are free to all of our students. So we have tutoring, we have peer tutors, professional writing tutors, we have writing services available, disability services, academic coaching, and career and personal development, which is also coupled with study abroad now. So they will help with resume building, cover letter writing, mock interviews. They will also help find internships as well. They really do help prepare our students for life after college. And even after you graduate, you can still take advantage of these services. So for us, we are Division III, which means that we cannot offer you a scholarship for your athletics, but we can offer you playing time. You will see that, and you are able to balance both your academics and your athletics, whether it's on the varsity level, club teams, intramurals, or you just want to be a spectator. You really can be involved with however you would like. Even if you are in a more rigorous course like nursing or education, you really can balance both. The coaches understand that you are a student athlete and your academics come first. So they really are understandable if you need to come to practice late, leave early, study for a test, things like that. They are very understanding. So applying to Neumann is super easy. We are on the Common App as well as our own application. Both are free to apply. At the moment, we are rolling admission, which means we do not have any deadlines moving forward, and we are test optional for most of our majors. At the moment, we only really require your official high school transcript. As long as you have a 2.5 or above, we do not need to see those test scores. However, you are more than welcome to submit them. Our pre-engineering and pre-pharmacy program, however, do require those. And a couple additional items that are optional would be a letter of recommendation, an essay, interview, or a campus visit as well. So here at Neumann, we give out merit scholarships, and this is going to be based on your GPA and your test scores if you choose to submit them. 3.8 to a 4.0, you'll get $19,000. 3.49 to a 3.79, $18,000. 3.16 to a 3.48, $16,000. 2.96 to a 3.15, $14,000, and 2.95 or below is a $10,000. So we go anywhere from $10,000 to $19,000 for our first year students. A couple other additional grants that we do offer is going to be a Catholic high school grant. So any first year students that are coming from a Catholic high school, they will get a $3,000 additional stackable on top of your merit scholarship. Nursing award for any of our first year students interested in majoring in nursing, a $2,000. Residential grant of $3,000 for all students that live on campus to kind of offset the cost of living on campus. a legacy award for any students who have an immediate family member that went to Neumann. So mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, you would get this, as well as a first generation grant of $1,000 for all students who their mom or dad didn't receive a bachelor's from another university. So that's a little bit more about Neumann, and I can answer any questions you guys have. Thank you so much for having me, and I will turn it back over.
Thank you so much, Andrew. If you have any questions for Andrew at Neumann University, please put it down in the Q&A down at the bottom. Next up, we have Purdue University.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Zoll. I'm with Purdue University. Let me share my screen really quickly. I am one of the regional counselors with Purdue. So I am based in New Jersey. Didn't start, did it? Hold on one sec. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Sorry. I'll start over. Sorry about that.
Sarah, it could be just a lag in the internet. So feel free when you share it again and click share from the beginning or present from the beginning. It should work.
Okay, I think I'm good now. Thank you. Sorry about that, everybody. My name is Sarah Zoll. I am one of the regional counselors with Purdue. I'm based in New Jersey, like I said, so I'm preparing for another snowstorm coming up. Purdue is in West Lafayette, Indiana. If you were to drive from New Jersey, I would not recommend it. Probably about a 12 or 13 hour drive, much easier 90-minute flight from Newark or Philly, whatever airport will make the most sense for you, right into Indianapolis. And then we are about an hour drive from Indy or 2 hours south of Chicago. So this is our enrollment for our current year. Purdue early on last spring announced that we were going to have our students on campus this year. We have over 85% of our students living and taking classes on campus this year with lots of safety precautions. Purdue's a big school. We have almost 46,000 students. The vast majority of them, about 35,000, are undergraduate students. Our students come from all 50 states and about 130 different countries. We currently have over 700 students from New Jersey on campus, so the tri-state area is definitely one of the larger populations represented on campus. Purdue is a big school, but our average class size is just about 30, and our student to faculty ratio is about 13:1. So in a lot of ways at Purdue, you really do have the best of both worlds, that larger school experience, but within our academic colleges, that smaller school experience as well. We do have over 200 majors at Purdue that are housed in all of our academic colleges here. We won't go through all of these. Our College of Engineering is our largest undergraduate program with just about 10,000 engineering students on campus. Something unique about Purdue and our College of Engineering is you will apply directly into our first year engineering program. That's the entry point to engineering at Purdue. So every engineering student will take a general engineering curriculum. And then at the end of your freshman year, you'll decide what type of engineering you want to major in. We have 17 different majors within the College of Engineering, but lots of specialties and concentrations within those different majors. So we actually have about 75 different ways to study engineering at Purdue. Our College of Agriculture doesn't get a lot of attention, but it definitely deserves more attention. Some great STEM related programs within ag, not just kind of 4-H and cows and things like that. And a lot of the ag majors actually have guaranteed research in them. So if you're interested in chemistry or biochem, ag economics, different things like that, definitely check out the College of Agriculture. We have our College of Health and Human Sciences that has programs such as nursing, pre-pharmacy, pre-dental, different things like that. Our College of Pharmacy, actually we have a DVM program through our veterinary medicine, and then our College of Science has lots of different majors, computer science, data science, all of the biology, chemistry, different things like that. And our Polytechnic Institute has some really great programs as well. We have an airport right on campus, so a professional flight program. cybersecurity, as well as data analytics and things like that through Polytech. We have about 1,000 student organizations on campus, everything that ranges from more academically related clubs to our marching band, different things like that. So lots of ways to get involved at Purdue. And we're in the Big Ten for athletics. So Division I, we play schools like Rutgers, Wisconsin, Michigan University, Park in Maryland. Really a fun atmosphere. Anytime there's an athletic event on campus, all of our students come out and support their fellow student athletes. Purdue is on the Common App. That's the one way to apply. Everything here is what's required. So we have the Common App, a couple Purdue specific questions. We ask that you self-report your courses and grades right on your application. So we don't require an official high school transcript when you apply to Purdue. For the current application cycle, we are test flexible, which means if you have test scores, you can submit them. If you don't have test scores, that's fine, you don't have to. We have not made a decision yet for next year, but that should be announced probably in the next couple of weeks or so. But you can also self-report your test scores, so you don't have to send in official SAT or ACT scores. You can just list those on your application and they'll be considered. We require that main Common App essay and then an application fee or fee waiver, which you can request right on your application as well. So everything that we require, you can submit directly through your Common App. I'm going to get all these deadlines up here. But every summer, August 1st, our application goes live. Beginning in October, you can fill out your FAFSA for federal student aid. November 1st is our early action deadline. Early action at Purdue is not binding, so you still have until May 1st to make up your mind of where you would want to go to school. November 1st is the priority deadline for a couple of programs at Purdue, including nursing, computer science, and professional flight. So it's better to get your application in there. It's also the deadline for the merit scholarships that we have and our honors college. And then January 15th is our regular decision deadline. So short and sweet, here's all of our contact information. You can get on our mailing list. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And we have lots of great virtual programs as well as limited on-campus tours as well. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Sarah, with Purdue University. If you have any questions for Purdue University, please put it down in the Q&A down at the bottom and make sure that you direct it to them so they know to answer it. Also, potentially check the chat too. There might be some panelists, some of our presenters today that have put their contact information in the chat or added a link of some sort. So feel free to check the chat. But again, any questions you may have will be put in the Q&A down at the bottom. Next up, we have Union College.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can see my screen. My name is Catherine Destino, and I am one of the Associate Deans of Admission at Union College. For those of us just starting to learn about us, we are a small liberal arts college with engineering located in upstate New York. So you'll see on this little map there, we are in the small city of Schenectady, great little downtown area within walking distance of our campus, but then we're also located just outside of Albany, the state capital of New York. I mentioned we are liberal arts plus engineering. Obviously, for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to focus mostly on STEM, so sciences, math, and engineering. But do know that at our heart, we are a liberal arts college, so we certainly have wonderful programs in those majors. And in some ways, at our heart, we are a liberal arts college. All of the best characteristics of a liberal arts school are available at Union, and a lot of that has to do with this idea of connection. We're a small campus, just over 2,000 students. So our average class sizes are small, and I'll show those on the next slide. We're all undergraduates, no graduate students. So the full focus at Union is on you when you come, whether that's faculty mentorship, facilities, resources. It's all about undergraduates at Union. It also means 100% of our classes are faculty led, and that does include not just the courses themselves, but lab sections of classes as well are taught by or led by faculty members. So some really nice opportunities there. I mentioned, at our heart, we're a liberal arts college, but we do have engineering and we have really strong STEM programs. We're about a 50-50 split, about half of our students majoring in humanities, arts, and social sciences, and then about half in science, math, or engineering. When I say we offer engineering, we do offer 4-year fully ABET accredited programs. They are not 5+1 programs, joint programs. They're offered on our campus, and we were I can't remember if I mentioned this, but we were the first liberal arts college in the country to offer engineering. So we have had those programs since 1845. We talk a lot about this idea of integration. We think we are in this unique position to offer these fabulous liberal arts, humanities, social science programs, and equally strong science, math, and engineering. And we're small enough that there are not separate divisions, separate colleges. And so the ability to come to Union and study more than one thing is really abundant and encouraged. And you'll see about 3/4 of our students do study more than one discipline, and they do so across areas. So they major in electrical engineering and minor in music. They double major in classics and computer science. There's really almost no limitations to the ways that you can combine the interests that you have. I know this word was mentioned earlier tonight, but we do really believe in the idea of the power of immersion as well. So taking learning outside of the traditional classroom environment. Research, huge on our campus. Over 80% of our students do faculty mentored research before they graduate. Many do so as early as their first year, but we do have a lot of majors that require a senior thesis or a senior capstone project in order to graduate. And so you will oftentimes in your final year do research that's truly on a graduate level as an undergraduate at Union, co-authoring papers with faculty, presenting at national conferences. And it's very common that our students actually get mistaken for graduate students because of the level of research they're doing, the equipment they were able to use, the lab facilities they had access to. We have a brand new $100 million science and engineering complex on campus that just opened last year. So beautiful facilities. About 85% of our students complete at least one internship. They intern at about 500 different companies and organizations worldwide, including many right in Schenectady, if that's something you're looking for. And then about 60% of our students study abroad. And I always like to mention that that rate is consistent across the disciplines. So just to use engineering as an example, over 60% of our engineering students study abroad. And to show you how remarkable that is, nationally, only about 15%, 1/5 of undergraduate engineering majors will have an international experience, and it's 4 times that rate at Union. So I think that study abroad rate gives you a really good idea of that liberal arts meet STEM. Yes, we offer these fabulous science, math, and engineering programs, but we are a liberal arts institution, and so those key aspects of the liberal arts, like study abroad, are integrated into all of our programs. A little bit about life outside the classroom. Again, I heard this word mentioned as well, inclusion. That's huge for us. We pride ourselves on being a campus where you can come as you are, be who you are, and find people who appreciate you for you. And so there are hundreds and hundreds of ways to get involved, whether it's from student clubs and organizations, athletics on every level, performing arts ensembles, community service opportunities, wonderful ways to get involved with our greater Schenectady community through our Kenny Community Center. And then we do have a really innovative aspect to our community called the Minerva Houses. Unfortunately, I cannot even begin to start to explain those in only 6 minutes, but definitely check those out. Search on our site for Minerva if you'd like to hear a little bit more. Real quick, in my last couple seconds here, we do prepare students for what we call multiple tomorrow. So not just your first job, but your second, third, fourth job, jobs that don't even exist yet because of that versatility of liberal arts meets STEM. You'll see here, though, within 6 months of graduating, 98% of our students are enrolled in graduate school, employed full-time, or pursuing a postgraduate fellowship. So wonderful things there. And then I'm just going to pop this up. This is my contact information. If you'd like to learn more about Union, feel free to reach out to me at this email. I am the dean for almost all of New Jersey, and I'll also put some different web links into the chat as I close down here. But thank you all for your time, and hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Union.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Catherine. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions for Union College, please put it down in the Q&A. Make sure to address the university or institution that you are looking to get an answer from. Last but certainly not least, we have Syracuse University.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Hoster. I represent Syracuse University. Excited to be here this evening. We have about 15,000 undergraduate students. We're located in upstate New York, right in the center of New York State, probably about 4 hours from any point in New Jersey. We have a lot of students from the Garden State. You can see here we have about 25 different STEM majors. This would include the natural sciences, biology, chemistry, physics, life and natural sciences, and physical sciences, as well as things like neuroscience, biotechnology. We also have 9 engineering majors and computer science, so quite a wide array of exciting opportunities in the STEM fields. We are a Research 1 university, and that means we're at the top classification. With regard to research, there is a lot of cutting edge opportunities, a lot of cutting edge research at Syracuse, and opportunities for undergraduates, and a lot of funding for research here. So we find a lot of undergraduates get significantly involved in research, in science and engineering especially, and they often present their research at national conferences, co-author or author papers with professors, and sometimes this propels them into graduate school because they decide that they really love doing research. We are big proponents of study abroad. You can see pictured here is Bethany Murphy. She graduated last year with her bachelor's degree in environmental engineering. She studied abroad on several continents during her Syracuse career, and we make sure that students are taking their engineering or science courses while they're abroad, so they make the same progress towards graduation as if they were on campus. And in most cases, there's no language requirement because the courses are taken in English while the students are abroad. We put a big focus on student success. For instance, in our engineering college, students have 3 advisors right from the beginning who follow them through their 4-year career. These include a career advisor who will connect students with exciting opportunities for internships, co-ops, and then full-time jobs really across the globe. In many cases, our students impress the employers that they're working for during those internships or co-ops, and that leads into full-time job opportunities at those companies. For freshmen, we highly recommend considering the living learning communities. This is a really great option so that, for instance, if you're in a STEM community or the engineering community, as a freshman, you're living with other freshmen who are in the same kinds of classes. So it makes it really easy to study together and do homework together. There are a number of different STEM-oriented design teams. For instance, there is a chapter for each major of engineering, a student chapter of the professional societies, as well as affinity groups for students of color and for women in engineering as well. So moving on, I wanted to give you a little more information about our Intro to Engineering class. This is something that we're really proud of. You can see a couple pictures here, and you can tell that the picture in the upper right is a current picture because our dean is wearing a mask while he's teaching, but that's Dr. Cole Smith. He's the dean of engineering at Syracuse. He taught one of our freshman introductory classes last semester. So that shows you the dean being in the classroom, how important this class is to us. Your intro to engineering class could be specific to the particular discipline that you want to study, or it could be more broad to give you an overview of different engineering opportunities. So you can see the other pictures here. The one with a little ball in the air is a mechanical engineering project where they develop a trebuchet to throw a ball into a hoop, which is pretty fun for freshmen. And then the bottom right, you can see some students who are civil engineering students. As freshmen, that was a bridge that they developed in their intro to engineering class. Another exciting thing that I wanted to highlight is our Invent at SU program. This is an invention accelerator that takes place in the summer for current undergraduates. So small teams of 2 or 3 work together for 6 weeks, designing, prototyping, and pitching original devices to judges, to industry leaders. So a great example of this is Russell Fearon, who's pictured here. He graduated last year with his bachelor's in mechanical engineering. He's now working on his master's in biomedical engineering. What he's holding there is the invention that he and Ricardo developed in this program. And they call it the Shug X. It is a smartwatch that monitors glucose levels for people with diabetes. Following this program, our students often go on to other programs to compete. So Russell was at a program sponsored by the American Heart Association last year, won $55,000 there towards this invention. He and Ricardo just won the opportunity to represent Syracuse University at an ACC invention competition. A lot of us think of the ACC as a sports conference, which it is, but the ACC also hosts academic competitions. And so they're going to represent Syracuse at an upcoming ACC invention competition. You can learn more at those websites that are listed here, the Launchpad being our hub for student entrepreneurship, which is a great way that students get connected with legal advice and other things that are necessary when they're doing these entrepreneurial activities. The last thing I want to mention, I want to give a shout out to some of the sample classes that we're going to be offering starting next week. So if you want to take a screenshot or a picture of this, we will have more information coming soon about registration for these programs. Next week, the biomedical engineering class is already available for registration, and the other ones we'll be building in our system soon. They're all 1 hour. They start at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's just a quick sample of a class at Syracuse that our engineering and computer science professors are offering. So you can see my contact information in the bottom corner there. So feel free to reach out to me. I also put a couple links in the chat where you can see video tours of our engineering labs and also a broader range of engineering info sessions. So thanks again, everybody, and I'll turn it back over.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jonathan. If you have any questions for Jonathan at Syracuse University, please put it down in the Q&A. We are nearing towards the end of our session, but with the minute or two that we do have left, I just want to give people the opportunity to ask their last minute questions. And also universities, please make sure you are answering them, as we only do have about a minute or two on the clock. With that said, as we're kind of starting to wrap up the session here, I did want to thank all of you so much for attending. It is definitely extremely important to have us be a part of your college search processes at this point in time. So once again, thank you so much for joining us at the NJACAC STEM Virtual College Fair. With that said, once I close out the window, you will have about a few seconds or so. Just take a minute or so to answer our quick 4-question survey that will appear. It's just very, very quick. It gives us an amazing opportunity to get some feedback from you all as attendees. Also, not tonight any longer, since this is one of the last sessions available, but the NJACAC has a ton of different other college presentation sessions and virtual college fairs. So please make sure to sign up for more sessions that they may offer and register for those. Also, a recording will be available. The recording will be available on the same page that you actually registered for, and it will be available in about a week or so. With that said, I understand that we do have some questions that are still being answered in the Q&A. I highly recommend that students check the chat box. Please make sure that you get the chat or the information, the contact information of the representatives in the chat at this point, and follow up with them if you do have any additional questions. But we kind of have reached, my computer has said 7:45 now, and so we have reached our end of the presentation. Thank you all again so much for joining us, and have a great night. Stay safe and stay warm. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.